Right, today we have, straight off the bookshelf, Glasshouse. It is Glasshouse. Yes, it is. Charles Stross. This was an excellent modern science fiction novel from an author that was new to me when I picked it up. Actually, I think I was given it. It was a strong modern science fiction. I guess you would think of it as hard sci-fi because the technology was key and it was well defined, though the characteristics and the plot weren't neglected in favour of the technology, a thing that can happen, but Charles didn't do it. The plot dynamics impressed me. I read it back in 2022, I think it was. There were a few things about the way Glasshouse was laid out that I think many other science fiction books could learn from. We start with our main protagonist, Robin, and Robin has just come out of a memory dump and is currently inhabiting a male ortho-human, if you please, body. So in this first chapter, the story does an excellent job of introducing us to our leading character and through them, the very alien, very far universe they inhabit, which is within the Invisible Republic. There's a lot of social world building that happens very fast, but very efficiently in the first chapter. The reader, me, or you, maybe you, is constantly on their toes, trying to decide what exactly is happening, but the narrative never left me completely behind. And because the main character's experience post-memory dump means that he's having to relearn things, that tactic worked as well. It is quite a complex world. It was impressive building, and I think I'm probably about due to read it again. Robin wakes up in a clinic with most of his memories missing. Doesn't take him long to discover that someone is trying to kill him. It's in the 27th century and interstellar travel is by teleport gate. It's exciting. So death has been pretty much eradicated, much like a couple of other books. Who was the other one who did that really well recently? Well, there's been a few that have done that recently. It's not unusual for people to take memory dumps where some of their past is deleted. There are worlds where these type of operations seem to be the main source of industry and very well-defined systems in which the person rehabilitates themselves afterwards. So Robin has had a significantly and unusually large memory dump. He remembers very little. Also, someone is trying to kill him. As he is not sure who is trying to kill him or why, when his therapist, a mesomorphic drone, suggests he enter a closed social experimental group which is based in the historical era they know little about, one which ends in 2050. Robin is somewhat suspicious. He feels like he's being given a hard sell of some kind, but while he is in this group, no assassin should be able to reach him, and when he finds out that Kay, a non-ortho-human woman he is bonded with, is thinking of going in as well, he considers it. So he ends up going in the experiment, though he or we are never quite sure how much consent was involved, whether he actually had a choice. It's a bit debatable. The experience is creepy in the extreme. The society has been recreated from a few fragments of knowledge, and the closed system is kind of like a 1950s America, but to someone who knows a bit more about the 1950s America, it's got some oddities. Stepford Wives gone wrong, I'm talking about. And that's the modern Stepford Wives, not the old one. Robin has been sent in within a female body, which he finds distressing. He's unable to locate Kay, who is one of the reasons he went in the first place. He is increasingly suspicious of what exactly this experiment is all about, because while the society is weird, it's been formulated so well that for a while the reader is not sure if the experimenters are malign or whether they really just don't know anything hardly at all about the era. That is so well written. Really well written. Now, an excellent plot dynamic of this book, The Social Experiment. First, we're giving an introduction to the Invisible Republic, enough so we can see where Robin and his cohort are coming from, not so much as to make our heads hurt, though. And the Invisible Republic is so different from the modern world, it would be hard to read a whole book from its point of view. So our only real way to get introduced to the Invisible Republic is by pretending to be in the 1950s, and I quite appreciated that particular tactic. Other science fiction books have tried this, and I often get bored by them. If you create a future universe which is so diametrically different from ours that you can't follow it, it makes it hard to really enjoy what you're reading. This one doesn't do that, however. There's enough to give us intrigue, a sense of the day, but not so much that we lose track. Right, so through this experiment, which seemed like the perfect solution for Robin. As it goes on, it seems more and more threatening inside, and as Robin and Hersat's husband feel more and more threatened by the controllers of the experiment, Robin starts looking for a way out. This is complicated by the fact that his, her, they, them memories are bubbling up in ways that make them even more suspicious of the experiment, and Robin is finding more and more reason to believe that many of his cohort are also trying to escape brutal pasts in the wars of their civilization, like he probably is. And yet again, there was a great plot building dynamic. This is where the narrative structure really gets going. It describes the worm computer virus which used humans to infect tech and plunged the entire society into war. Tech wars with great concepts on a scope that is excellently written, but what really impressed me was where this was situated in the story. So too many books that I have read would try and dump all this background knowledge on you too fast or right away. They don't integrate it into the story. And sometimes they do worse. They don't give it to you until so far in that you don't care anymore and it's not really relevant. In Glasshouse, we have already bonded to the main characters. We are involved in their story. We've got enough back history that the info dump when it comes feels relevant. I loved the way this was organised, and I was immensely impressed by the thriller mystery element of the story, the weird gendering and societal setups, and I'm not going to say anything that will spoiler it because I thought the ending was gold, and I also think that you kind of need to read it to understand how it sparkles. So that was Glasshouse by Charles Stross. I plan to read more by this author because I was impressed. Oh, comment, subscribe, YouTube, do the YouTube